Yeah, associate of mine makes a mean video, man. And we talks among ourselves in his live chat, and I watch his content and everything, and we lament the fact that well, this country isn't what it could have been. It could have been the greatest country in the world, literally a Camelot of sorts and shit. If it wasn't for mental illness and shit, a 500-year-old mental illness and shit that engulfs the planet as we speak and shit, that upsets the natural balance of things. You know, I'm talking about racism. And you guys just think about like somebody calling you a nigger or something or some other bullshit. That thing is like a tree of life up in this country and shit. This supposed country. You know, I've been saying for the longest that when for the last decade and a half maybe, or less, when I see the American flag, I see a pirate flag and shit. When you think about it and shit, you guys come over here to these lands and, a lot of you died and you didn't know how to work the land or anything, and they're the native people of this land, despite what you think they may have looked like and shit. I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to trigger any of your infantile anger and shit. But these native people came and they helped you. They showed you how to work the land and shit. They showed, well, from what we know. We don't know, which the history has yours, your particular spin on it and shit. But, like, they helped you, after so many people had died and some had resorted to cannibalism and everything, corroborated or not, mostly corroborated. They showed you how to work the land, how to get a foothold over here, and they were rewarded when you stole their land and their property and their belongings and shit. Then you made them walk that trail of tears and shit, barefoot or not. One shoe in, one shoe out, mostly out for us. They had to walk that shit, And then you guys, instead of just working your land and everything, you had to get people to do it for you. So you brought in people from another land and shit. Yeah, the number of people you brought in is debatable and shit. We don't know what actual history is and whatnot. It would be critical. So, we lament what could have been and shit, the natural progression of things, but there's too many people there with like this mental illness that's called racism and shit, in the supposed greatest country in the world and shit. You did a lot, man, you did a lot, but like our blueprint is everywhere. No matter what you do, no matter what you burn, what you erase, no matter how many books you destroy, our blueprint remains imprinted in everything in this land. Even in your very bodies, okay? As you are imprinted in our bodies. Generation upon generation of interbreeding and all this kind of shit, okay? We're connected and shit, like Cain and Abel. You decide from your point of view who's Cain and who's fucking Abel and shit. But we did so much and shit. If I were to start listing some of the things, some of you would get so angry that you would want to harm me. Okay? I've received death threats before through social media. Okay? And I've had people challenge me in real life, when I wouldn't discuss this country with them and shit. They get so agitated because my real voice is much different than the one you hear. The voice that I have makes people think that I'm approachable for their crappy, retarded rhetoric and shit. I'll put it that way. I've had to listen to many neocons talking and shit, and then when they forced me to say something, it wasn't what they wanted. They got really mad. They went out of their way to destroy me and shit, as much as they could possibly do without actually taking my life. And I'm pretty sure a number of those guys would have loved to take my life. But I want to say, man, we're everywhere. We're a part of you. Or you'll never be rid of us and shit. One has to go, okay? And I'll tell you this, I'll give you a little hint and shit. What happens when you turn the lights off in your house is dark. You're surrounded by blackness. Alright? So, we're killing history, we're burning books now. We're Orwellian territory and shit. We got hyper vigilance and awareness and people watching us and everything, you know? Yeah. I want to tell you, you guys throw the baby out with the bathwater before you even knew what it was. Just think about it, man. We're a part of every part of your culture and lifestyle, from the food to the clothes you wear to the way your hairstyle to even the interpersonal little ticks and quirks there and shit. Some of those are intrinsically yours. I won't get into those deviant acts. I just want to say, man, your culture of hatred ruined what could have been the greatest country in the world and shit. Alright, who killed fucking Wakanda and shit? America killed Wakanda. You know, years before they had an actual automobile, you know, what you call automobile, a black ex-slave had created the automobile and shit. And the tour bus. Yeah, you'll never find out about that. George Washington Carver's, his contributions to society. Charles Drew's contributions to medical history. The one woman whose cells are still being trafficked today. Her still living cells, even though she's long passed away. Think of the Henrietta Lacks. Yeah, there's a court battle now about a family to retrieve what's left of her body on a genetic level and shit. That you guys are profiting off of Big Pharma and all this bullshit. No conspiracy, no tinfoil kufi here. It's fact. Alright? You guys have been running the world and shit for the most part, I guess we should say, alright? Your standards and everything, you know? Look at the condition of the planet. Look at the condition of the planet. You came into our communities, you disrupted our families, you disrupted education, you stepped in, you gave us your religion, we ran with it. Then when it started going to the natural direction was going with Martin Luther King and others, you stepped in to kill them and shit. And then you took all the Confederates, the lesser dans in his group, and you made them generals and shit, and gatekeepers. What's that like and shit? Look at the result. You know, you had your operatives come into our community and talk to our women, and create this weird diaspora, this gender war and shit in its infancy. Look at the result today. You gave those women money and shit, but they, you gave them housing and everything, but they couldn't have a man in the house. They couldn't have a complete family unit because the government became the husband and shit. And they depowered, disenfranchised generations of men and shit. Now look at the result. Imagine if you could undo any portion of that shit. Especially what you guys did to education and redlining and all this shit. Just think if protocols were in place to make it equitable. Think what the result would be as far as the country goes. Think what we would be as a people. You would see a true future, okay? You see a true future. But you guys can't see over the trees, okay? Can't see the forest for the trees. Just think what it could be. That's all we're saying this shit, okay? If you're a racist or a white supremacist or some kind of neocon, that this shit scares the fuck out of you, that's on you, okay? Your fear is what limits you. Your fear, your hatred, unfounded, based on generations of lies and confusion and shit and anger for no fucking reason, but mostly fear. That you guys intrinsically know on a deep genetic level what you did. Right? And we're never going to stop talking about it. That shit's going to go from one person to the next. You can't interbreed enough to make us forget our history on a genetic level, even if nobody knows about it. If you clean up everything deep down, that person knows. That black person knows what's going on. And if they choose how they react to it and shit. Think if you hadn't come and intermingle with us with negative, evil intent and shit. Think about it. Today, our women wear your women's hair on their head and shit. And they do their best to act civilized. It reminds me of the shit you see over in fucking Africa. The fucking Julius Malema cracking jokes on the judges, the court system there because they wear powdered wigs and, colonial clothing and shit in their court system. And I agree. I feel the same way when I look around the community and shit. You guys have taken to a hatchet to education and the family structure and shit. And now you got a generation of mongrelized individuals and shit that you're responsible for. Your welfare is responsible for the welfare of these people. You can't kill enough of them and shit. You wanted to get all the potential Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X and Fred Hamptons. You wanted to get rid of them and shit. But what did you replace them with? And now you're responsible for that shit. Okay? You can't kill enough of them. They are fucking replacing themselves. They're replenishing themselves daily. What are you going to do about that? Huh? What are you going to do about that? You got something in a hypodermic form and shit, Is that gonna fly? What are you gonna do about it? You guys always talk about law and order and security and shit, but you destabilize your own fucking construct and shit when you allowed all these business owners to sell the business, to sell the hammer and nail to China. And now China's number one. China's number one. I'm just talking to you, man. Tell me something, man. Make this shit make sense to me. So I find myself in the middle of it and shit. I'm not mongrelized and shit. I'm right in the middle and shit. And I'm right between highly intelligent and the knuckle dragger, right? We're the ones that you want to erase and ignore shit. We're the ones you're trying to hide from the rest of the world by making our women a single race ethnicity. And we'll see how that turns out and shit. You keep writing those fucking checks now. Alright? You keep writing that your $10 billion. Yeah, that's gonna money going to good use and shit. That's gonna finance a whole lot of nail salons and beauty shits and, that's gonna finance, that's all, because you don't want nothing of any construct in this. We can write the apple cart and shit. If you pay even a fraction of what you owe, your fucking economy would make a turnaround in record time and shit. You know this, but you can't take that chance because it messes with your fragile, weakened ego, okay? Now I want to get into it. I'm not talking about hatred here. I'm telling you the truth. You did this to yourself, America.